Good sunny morning, YouTube. A little bit of traffic noise. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. People in a rush getting to work to and from. So, sunny day here. I mentioned the hummingbirds had kind of slowed down coming. I've only seen 3 of them come back with a little bit of warmer weather. So I'm worried about the other babies out there. But this is just a part of their range, so they might have just shortened their range to stay warm. Hope so. But they've weathered through the years before, and this is mild so far. So lots going on in the news all over the place. The Trump impeachment hearings are necessary. We know that. We recognize that. 8 out of 10 people in this nation recognize the need for that conversation. The challenge is that seems to be the only one being had. Underneath this Ukraine nonsense was a massive oil deal for Rick Perry. So this was not a quid pro quo. This was a quid tri pro quo. There was 3 feet in this fire here, and someone expected to get theirs out of it. This is the business that Republican politics enables. This is not the resident of the Oval Office. This is a symptom of intentional, hateful politics from scared individuals because they know a lot of what they speak to isn't true. And if their faith is true, they will be judged. If democracy was true, the courts would be doing some judgments. But we're too busy locking up people smoking weed. We have been for decades, demonizing different social groups. And the media latches onto this and focuses on it, instead of keeping a broad spectrum of coverage, like the pollution on our planet. We knew about this decades ago. So any of you remember Jacques Cousteau? I grew up watching that man exploring the oceans, the deep seas, inward looking at the planet that we live on. He talked about and documented and showed the masses of the biology and the amazement of our oceans. So as a child, that was just a part of growing up right next to Mr. Rogers, you know. Times were different, but they're still the same. Back then there was 5 major television companies across the nation. And yet we were introduced to Vietnam and the vagaries of war, and the protests here grew. And from the Middle East, we get nothing. Our brothers and sisters have died over there, died for mineral wealth, died for the wealth and profit of massive international corporations who do guide our future. There's only 20 or 30 corporations that deal globally in fundamental materials, precursor materials that make our life today. If some balance is not stricken between them and the environment and us, you see what we have. So here's the news. Green screen and all, folks. I'll come up with something cheerier one of these days.